You ready? No debate, cause they sold. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
no, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Thursday. We made it. Football is tonight. Oh, cheers. Cracking beers with the boys. Yeah, that's not Matt, by the way. Neither of them are. Those are the two handsome devils from the High Low podcast who have graciously offered to help me in my time of need. Because apparently, they're two of the 40 people I texted to help me out tonight. And you know how many people responded and said yes? These two fine gentlemen.
You could have just said we were the first two you reached out to, and we were like immediately on a whim helping you out. You could have made us feel better.
That's what I heard, and I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, well, listen, it's not like I didn't I texted DJ first. I texted Kelsey about an hour later, or like 5 hours later when this morning, whenever, because I felt bad because I had you on last week, so I didn't want to double you up if I didn't have to. Because I feel I know it's not easy coming on this show right before Thursday Night Football. Also before we have a belly up meeting, and I didn't want to really go at it and make you guys overwork. DJ offered, and I was like, thank God, because I sent DJ's one of 12 guys I texted at work yesterday, because Matt is currently officiating our buddy's rehearsal dinner right now, 6 miles down the road.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Yeah, cheers to Pat and Rebecca tomorrow. I'll be there for that. Oh, so, I'm hyped for one of y'all echoing like a motherfucker. It's all good, though. I don't care. We are Belly's premier pregame show as I'm eating and we're echoing. It's a great time. But listen, I'm not the only one who's going to eat tonight. Fantasy owners are going to eat tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another installment of Herbert versus Mahomes, Chiefs, Chargers. I'm probably going to fall asleep to this game because I'm exhausted, but at the same time, dude, touchdowns galore. Austin Eckler fans rejoice. Like he's going to be a bum like he was last weekend.
Especially with Keenan Allen out, someone's got to start catching these passes. You can't throw it to fullbacks every single week now when you have Justin Herbert. Eventually, someone's going to start scoring.
I was almost kind of mad. It was like, really? They threw it to a goddamn fullback? I lost by 60, and they threw it to a damn fullback?
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, Gerald Everett as well getting in the end zone last week. Literally everybody other than Mike Williams or Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. Like, okay, fine. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys helping my fantasy and betting odds out. Super fantastic.
Oh my God. How'd you guys do in fantasy last week? I asked people that all week because I got absolutely smoked in me and Kevin's friend league. That's the only one I play for money. I was telling Kelsey about this. I put up 160 points, but because of Devontae Smith and Darnell Mooney doing jack shit, and Austin Eckler, I got smoked. My buddy put up 202 on me.
Yeah, the lack of Jalen Hurts wanting to even look at Devontae Smith killed me as well, too. Like, I get it. It's the A.J. Brown showcase. Show him off your new toy. But damn it, couldn't you throw it to Devontae just a couple times? Just throw it to him in the flat. Help a DJ out a little bit there. That goose egg kind of did me dirty there.
Yeah, I mean, I got to beat DJ because of those goose eggs, so I'm okay with it. That worked out for me. But yeah, in the other league, I mean, it was pretty atrocious. Everywhere I had the highest scoring loss in one league, and I had the lowest scoring win in another league, and then in the other league, it's because DJ got goose eggs that I beat him. So it's like, all right, well, I'll take 2 for 1 this week, but it's still not a fun. It wasn't a pretty week, that's for sure.
Yeah, what cracked me up was that I really tried to be smart about my picks. I thought, hell, this is going to be a great idea. Let's play both Eagles receivers. The secondary for Detroit is fucking terrible. No, Jeff Okudah showed up. I was like, this is the guy they drafted 2 years ago that was a bust? Like, he locked Smith up for the entire first half. He didn't even touch. I was like, this is insane. I don't know.
Hey, look, the Lions, man, they're good. They're damn good. It doesn't, we talked about this on our show. It's like, maybe they're not far away from actually being as complete as we thought, maybe. Or maybe it's a fluke and the Eagles are just that bad. Who knows?
Still better off than the Cowboys.
Unless they... we're not going to talk about the Cowboys. We're going to avoid that subject as long as possible today. Thank you very much, Jared.
The
I'm doing
33rd
you a
best
courtesy.
penalty.
You can do me this courtesy.
All right. Now, man, last
the
cross-the-board shot
33rd
to you about the Cowboys for the rest of the show. That's my promise to you, my friend.
Well, let me just put it this way. We'll end it with this. The moment that somebody says Cooper Rush gives us the best opportunity to win, your season's done. That's going to be the conversation that ends that right there. Like, that's the moment your season's done. So all predictions for the Cowboys, losses from here on out.
What sucks is that I texted this to my buddy Shane, who's a diehard Cowboys fan. I said, dude, I don't want Dak to be hurt. I'd rather beat you guys at full strength, not when you got Ben DiNucci or Cooper Rush throwing the ball. Come on, make it a full meme team. Go get Trace McSorley.
At this point in time, go get Cam. Like, give me
Go
some
get
hope
Jimmy
in the
G,
world.
baby.
Actually, if they go get Jimmy G, I change my whole answer of what I just said about everything being a loss from here on out. Like, it instantly becomes, well, they're going to win 8 games. Maybe get to an NFC Championship game if he gets on a roll at the end of the season.
Or, but the thing
That
is,
could be the worst thing.
that
for
would
the rest
also
of the
imply,
NFC East.
Here's the thing though, it's the difference between the intelligence of Kyle Shanahan versus Kellen Moore. I'm not a big Kellen Moore guy at all. I think that honestly, his play calling is such a waste. I said this on our show on Monday, and Matt was like blown away because he never thought this. The Cowboys are built to be in a Doug Peterson style downhill power run, West Coast, a couple deep shot offense. That is what they're built for. They have good route running receivers with Michael Gallup, who can absolutely fly. They have a tight end who's great downfield in Dalton Schultz. They have 2 running backs, one power, one who's good at catching. Both are good at catching the ball out of the backfield. One's fast and Pollard. And they have a quarterback who thrives on play action passes and spreading and getting the ball around in spacing. Why not run like a Doug Peterson style West Coast offense? Like that, honestly, to me makes more sense than whatever cockamamie bullshit that freaking Kellen Moore runs.
I disagree, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kelsey. Go ahead. Your team is reigns.
Well, I disagree in the fact that Dak is not a play action quarterback because he's too slow in the play action. He is actually an RPO.
True.
He is an RPO style quarterback, which is what that offense is built around, is those RPO bases, which is why you have a CeeDee Lamb who is a quick catch, get the ball in his hands, let him go to make work. He is not a great route runner by any means right now. He is a good route runner. He's still raw. Outside of him, I'm not going to say any of the other guys are good route runners on that team because they're not. Tony Pollard is a speed back. He's a scat back that does well catching the ball out of the backfield and getting outside the tackles. Occasionally, he could pop one through the middle. Zeke is a goal line back at this point in time. He's not good between the 20s. Asking him to do anything between the 20s is useless. Forget about it. Or third down. I mean, I don't even like it. This team is with Amari. Yes, I would have said a little bit more so in agreement with the good route running receivers. But without Amari, there's CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown. Insert 4th receiver, 5th receiver here. And a guy that can run down the sideline really fast. Like, it's like watching Auburn all over. Honestly, this is what the problem is. It's like watching Auburn all over again. Dak Prescott, when his refusal to keep the ball and run since the ankle injury, which he was actually doing in preseason, was detrimental to the Cowboys' success. But unfortunately, obviously now with his injury, that's all eliminates all that. So now it's going to be the Boise State special for the rest of the season.
Kellen Moore's a weird case to me because he started off so high, like right out of the gate when he was offensive coordinator. It was like up. But then since he kind of got that, could he be a head coach? It's gone 90 degrees down since that point as well, too. Like it hasn't been a steady fall. It's gone directly 90 degrees down. You have your 2 running backs. Those are your 2 best playmakers besides CeeDee Lamb. Kind of do what the Packers do and use them both at the same time. Zeke may be fat between the 20s and not be able to get loose, but you he can still catch the ball in the backfield and fall forward for 5 yards more than the 3 he's getting when you hand it off to him. So I think he's almost gotten too big for – he has a bad case of Andy Reid syndrome without the Andy Reid gangster, getting a little bit too big for his britches. Whereas Andy Reid gets too big for
the Andy Reid gangster. I fucking love that.
Like he gets
big red
Andy Reid
mafia.
can get too big for his britches, pun intended, and still get you 25, 30. Kellen Moore gets that way, and they get 3. And they fall apart basically, and then you lose your quarterback.
That game was so ugly.
And honestly, from both sides, Tampa was pretty ugly too. It took him 1,000 tries to get Mike Evans in the end zone. It felt like as well too. Like,
it took Tom Brady being like, Mike, what the fuck do you want to run? That's what it took.
Like everyone's gonna talk about everyone's like, oh, Tampa's not as good. I'm like, no, Tampa's just looks sloppy because Tom spent half the training camp trying to make sure Giselle wouldn't divorce his ass.
Yeah,
and then force feeding.
All right, shout to Beth. She won her first week of fantasy. Her first time playing fantasy too, so
hey, let's go.
Cheers.
Love to see it. Drinks all around. Cheers all around. That one's empty. All right.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't gonna take long.
I just slammed it at 8% and 4 slugs. That's not good.
All right, so we're hosting in about 10 minutes, Kelsey.
Nah, I'm not that weak. I'm not that weak livered. All right. I will say this though, before we start getting into tonight's game. What was your guys' biggest standout? I know we talked with the Lions a little bit. They may actually have some firepower. I saw a power ranking from a former coworker of mine at the old network I used to work at in college. He ranked the Lions at 6. He had Philadelphia at 28. He had the Patriots at 7. And he said it was on the eye test. I couldn't tell if he was a memer or just an idiot. Honestly, I know him, so both. He's a Pats fan too.
Does he have bottle cap glasses by any chance? Like the old
No, but he did theater, and
okay, so he's dramatic.
And he's from a rich town, and his dad's a doctor.
My biggest question, I don't care about the Eagles at 26. I mean, I hate the Eagles anyways. I'd throw them down there just.
But power rankings, you're really gonna put them at 26?
No, not at all. But the Patriots,
it's at 7.
Does that mean
Infinity and beyond or something?
Dude, they looked awful. Ty Montgomery had the barrel roll into the end zone.
That's a very nice way to put what he actually did to get in the end zone. It was like he basically chewed legs off to get into the end zone. That was how desperate he was to get it. By the way, a guy who hasn't gotten in the end zone for nearly 5 seasons straight.
Which is crazy. I thought Miles Sanders' drought was long.
Yeah, that was insane. So, but that was terrible. Dolphins are pretty good. Let's not kid ourselves. That secondary that defense is still pretty good.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that game against the Ravens Sunday.
That Patriots team just was as bad as we could have all expected. Plus some, and my 4-win prediction for them looks really good right now.
I think I was right behind you with 5 or 6. So I'll put them in. See, Kev's got the memo.
Yeah, the Patriots have got to drop. Wait, isn't Kev a Patriots fan too?
Kevin's he's from Foxborough.
Oh, and he's even saying put him at 32. Okay, there's your evidence.
Kev is a realistic Patriots fan.
He's
That's
still
the
a Bammer
difference.
at heart, though. So
I know. So he literally thinks Mac Jones might be God's second coming. I'm not sure, but at least he's realistic when it comes to pro football.
Does anybody?
That's right. That's right.
Did anyone remember the Not Another Teen movie, that scene from there where the guy catches the ball in the end zone, then gets destroyed by 2 defenders and sawed in half? That's pretty much what Miami did to Mac Jones in the backfield on one of those plays and ended up injuring his back. So your baby go quarterback with a broken spine the whole damn season too. How do you have them at 7 when your quarterback is broken? I don't get it.
I'll find this after the show because I don't think this deserves airtime because this guy honestly also screwed me over a little bit post college. But I will literally text you guys both this after the show because it is that horrifying, and his explanation sounds so elitist and douchey. I want to slap him.
Okay, all right, there it is. Yep, all right. Well, I don't, Kev. Would you have taken that shot he took from the high lows from the Dolphins there? Because mind you, after he spent 35 seconds of the 40-second play clock directing where every single player needed to be at because they were all in the wrong positions, and then he still gets blasted by a corner blitz that is just, oh my god.
That was literally the most insane. I felt bad. I had to I tried to literally go off and try to look at it for a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, I can't even watch this. This is terrible. And I just felt bad. I wanted to check in on my Patriots fan friends. I'm like, guys, are you okay?
No, I don't care about them. They had their success for 20 years.
But they're people.
Yeah, and they made fun of me for the last 20 plus years for being a Cowboys fan. So I
roast you
not
because
care.
we're your heated rivals.
Yeah, you're
but
different. You're different. But the Patriots did it because it's the Patriots.
I'm also considered Satan's spawn by most Dallas Cowboy fans. So,
You know what Bill Belichick needs to do is he needs to swallow his pride, slap himself in the face, and call Steve Sarkisian back. I'll give you this blank check. Come be the offensive coordinator because this special teams and whatever the hell I have going on here with Joe Judge and Matt Patricia is not
call Urban Meyer for the half the season.
Time out. We all know the next in line for the Bill Belichick, Nick Saban recruitment tour is Scott Frost.
Yo,
Scott Frost is going to be the next one in line for that. So he's either going to be Bill's offensive coordinator or he's going to be Nick's offensive coordinator by the end of the season.
Somebody called him the greatest GM of all time on a radio show. I looked at him like, "Are you high? Are you high? Like what?"
Did they miss the whole?
The last 20 years?
The fact you have to include Patricia and Judge in the same sentence, it's like double negatives making a quadruple negative.
It's like the world's worst.
It doesn't make any sense. But my favorite part, the hottest part of the whole game, was the fact that the Dolphins fan lit half the parking lot on fire. Should we check on Jason to make sure his car wasn't one of those that got lit on fire?
We did.
Okay, so it was one of his cars.
Somebody did check on Jason, and it was not his car.
Thank God. How close was he to that? Because that lot. Okay, so Hard Rock Stadium's parking lot is very condensed, so that's why I'm like, thank God, man, because that shit spreads fast.
It's like a wildfire in California. One little thing happens and suddenly the whole thing is on fire. Like there's no spacing between those cars.
That's also because they've forsaken God for their Hollywood idols, but that's a whole other story.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Okay, no. So California has the issue of there's actual land and farmland in between where all these things are happening. Where in Miami it's like parking lot.
Swamp.
There's
parking lot.
parking lot, beach. Parking lot. So there's nothing to really burn. There's just things that can fall down.
But if one of those cars catches on fire and goes boom, all those cars are touching
also,
and getting dented.
I've tailgated enough times. How the fuck do you forget to put your grill out?
I've seen it so many times, dude. In college, it happens all the time. People just
so weird.
They just throw it in the back of their car. Like it was a Progressive. You remember the
the Progressive insurance guy. What cracks me up is I'm blackout drunk at an Eagles-Jets game. I am 20 years old. I'm not even legal enough to drink yet, but I'm still smart enough to know, put the grill out before I go in the stadium.
Dude, it's so simple. And okay, maybe it's because we're guys. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it wasn't a guy that did it.
Here we
or
go.
It might have been an older guy. But it's something about putting out a fire as a guy makes you really excited. Mostly because 9 times out of 10 we just kind of pee on it. That's kind of how we put it out, and it's pretty entertaining.
A crowded parking lot, man. You got bigger problems.
I mean, it's using a perfectly good grill to get put out, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just some dumb kids who've never grilled out before. I don't know who did it. All I know is there's some really nice cars that are going to be getting insurance claims.
Absolutely cooked.
There was some Rolls Royce in there. There were some cars that I'm like, I could only dream about touching. No, but I wasn't going that way, Beth. I'm sorry. That wasn't where it was going.
Kelsey, Beth, this was not Kelsey going full Andrew Tate. This was just him making a joke about guys being forgetful.
No, this is me making a joke about guys just liking to pee on fire for some reason.
Fair enough.
Speak for yourself. I am not getting that close to an open flame like that. I do not know when that wind is going to blow.
So you were not the kid that tried to write his name in the snow when you peed in the snow?
No, you said open flame. There's a start.
Heat, freezing cold. Two different ball games.
Distance, it's a distance test. It's a whole thing.
I'm really trying to understand your connection here, Kelsey. I'm really disturbed right now. Where your head's at?
I'm not are you guys thinking I'm standing over a fire trying to put it out that way? Hold on.
I have. I was blackout drunk.
Time out. There's a good distance between me and a fire before I'm trying to
I
do
also
this.
watched somebody at a bonfire I was at try to put out a fire with bourbon. I was like, you're an idiot. He goes, hey, is there any water? We got to put this fire out before we leave the campsite. Grabs a bottle, half-empty bottle of Jim Beam, pours it on the fire. I'm like, what the shit, man?
Party fouled twice. First of all, how's his arm after that? Does he still have skin? Secondly,
I don't.
I think go buy a new bottle
he
of
melted
Jim for it?
part of the label on the bottle.
Should have been a Maker's Mark bottle, just so you can melt the wax.
Yeah, right.
Remelt the wax back over.
But then again, I hate Jim Beam anyway, so I could fucking care less.
Yeah, but still party foul.
Definitely a party. I mean, I'm not gonna act like this guy's not a fucking moron, but
Should have told him that Axe body spray is Fire Sullivan. See what he does with that.
Honestly, he was probably already.
honestly, he probably was wearing Axe body spray. I hated this dude. This was like, I think my year after college. I don't even know how I fell in with this group of people for 5 minutes. I also just got texted a stat by one of our former co-hosts. Shout out to Big Pat Donahue. The founder of the Thursday show, or the podcast and chill idea of it. He texted me. He goes, Mitch Trubisky has never thrown a pick pick six in the NFL. He's thrown interceptions, never thrown a pick six.
Because he's basically a safety. He always makes the tackle somehow as well. So he's
him and Andrew Luck.
Hold on, can we go back to this comment for just a second? Can we go back to this? What?
I'm the devil. Fire doesn't. That sounds like
She told me this story once, and I didn't believe her until she reiterated 4 times that this actually happened.
Is this like a Targaryen? Like how did this happen?
I don't know, but great House of Dragon reference there. I am befuddled by this. I've seen some people do dumb shit. A friend of mine from high school, her brother got accidentally pushed into a fire pit. I'm like, I've heard some scary stories about bonfires, man. Like, that shit scares the fuck out of me.
I've watched people run and jump into bonfires and then jump out. Like, it's not. People down south are stupid with bonfires. But
dude, people in the Northeast are even dumber because we think we're okay.
Click on the next comment.
I know.
All right. That's
Cue the Kyrie left. Oh my god, no! But this dude, right? Oh my god! Yeah, sorry, I said Kyrie, Kawhi. They're both a head case. Freaking
one just stays quiet at least.
Yeah, right. So a buddy of mine, he's in like my really tight friend group up here. He decides, he goes, "Yo, I'm gonna throw a bonfire." I'm like, it's the middle of August. This is before we got the rain up here. In the Northeast, by the way, we went through a drought of biblical proportions. Like, we didn't get a full rainstorm for almost a month and a half. And so, basically, I'm sitting there, I'm like,
California's
Chris,
on the phone there.
Yeah, I know, but for the Northeast is a rainforest usually in August. So, I text him, I'm like, dude, like, you should not throw a bonfire. Like, you may start a forest fire that burns half our town down. So he goes, oh, well, it's not that bad. I'm like, Chris, the wind is up. The forest fire advisory is at DEFCON 1. Like, do not do a... So he goes, let's do a redneck slip and slide instead. Dude buys an 130-foot tarp, covers it in more suds and bubble soap I could find out, and then just keeps his parents' hose running. I think he almost dried out their well.
Well, he also probably killed their grass while he was at it, too.
Oh, no, we did. And the best part was they wanted to use me as a bowling ball for a human bowling game.
You signed up for it, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, no, I literally ran it. Like, I got full sprint for about 10 yards, gave a nice baseball slide. I slammed into him like a freaking car wreck.
Never fails.
Oh, I was so... Oh, so then again, that was what happens when I have like 7 IPAs before I do it.
Let's be honest, you would have done it for 2.
No, because I'm very insecure about taking my shirt off still. So that was that thing. I needed a couple more.
No, you would have just kept your shirt on, but would still.
Nah, but like with everyone else having the shirt off is like, I can't be that guy.
Look, man,
you went to the room.
Like, if everybody else is taking their shirt off, I'm gonna take my shirt off. It's just part of the game.
I'm not that insecure.
If you're embarrassed by looking at me,
I was like 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah, it was even worse. But I was just also like, it just felt weird. But then I was like, all right, I'm good. It's always like one of those things where I gotta dunk my toe in the water before I go full crazy. I dunk my toe in, run back to a cannonball.
You go from 1 to 100. You don't go 1 to 10 to 15 to 20.
DJ, you've known me for almost 2 years. How is this not? This is not breaking news here.
No, I'm stating it for those who are just tuning in right now in case they didn't catch on to it. There's no progression here.
All right, who have both of you? Who has not given like what their other like pleasant or like really poor surprise was from week 1?
I think you were the only one to give a poor surprise. Because then you kicked in with Mitch Trubisky not throwing a pick.
Okay, so y'all want to give some?
Yeah. My biggest surprise or best surprise or worst surprise? Which one?
Anyone you want to do.
Okay, I'm just
Give them all three at once. Give them all three at once. Who cares?
I'm just gonna go with biggest surprise of all of them. Damn, maybe I'm not gonna do that one. No, I'm gonna do that one. Geno Smith is back.
Yes.
Geno Smith is back. He's finally gonna get a real opportunity with a real team. He's showing exactly what Russell should have been doing in Seattle his entire career, which is move up in the pocket to where there's a gap and then dump it off to your tight end and let him go scamper away. Look, it's amazing what happens when Seattle uses their tight ends. They're fantastic. When Russell used his tight end for the Broncos, they were doing fantastic. And then he's like, I forgot how to use a tight end. Halfway through the game.
Seattle has tight ends? I thought Will Dissly was just a lawn ornament.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, Will Dissly, Noah Fant. They had their third tight end even catch a touchdown. Yeah, dude, that's amazing. Like, it's amazing. You put a guy who actually knows how to throw the tight ends in there, and oh boy, your offense opens up. I can't wait to see what he does when he actually throws it to DK and Tyler Lockett on a consistent basis.
I dropped
psycho.
I dropped Noah Fant for OJ Howard because OJ Howard is like Dougie Mills' like favorite target now.
Yeah, that was my other potential surprise of the week, just because he goes straight up from getting cut by the Bills as a backup to, hey, I'm gonna go start for the Texans and kill everything.
I feel bad for Brevin Jordan, but then again, like he's never gonna be more than a number 2 tight end. He's too small.
Yeah. How is that though? I mean, OJ Howard's been there for 5 days and has already scored 2 touchdowns. Like he's scored a touchdown for half as many days as he's been there as well too. Like
he scored more touchdowns in 5 days than he scored in a couple years everywhere else he's been.
Yeah, facts.
In Alabama.
DJ, what do you got?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go straight to the Vikings not only beating the Packers, but the way they basically manhandle them. How Justin Jefferson basically dragged his you-know-whats all the way across that Green Bay secondary. When we did our preseason predictions, we were both pretty hell-bent on he's going to go ballistic. I didn't think he's going to come out of the gate with 200 yards and just almost 200 yards and set himself up.
Absolutely committing homicide, basically, in that secondary.
And for all of Kelsey's transgressions about Kirk Cousins that we all have yours well too, we all have our transgressions about it. Yours are just a little louder than some of ours. It makes a world of a difference when you have a coach that doesn't hate your guts and blatantly shows it on the sideline as well too, like Mike Zimmer did. His face was beat red anytime he looked at him. Push a flight of stairs. Now when you have a coach who doesn't hate you immediately, it's amazing what a world of difference does. So, and Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers he needs to get over it. Your receivers are young; they're gonna make some mistakes. I mean, Christian Watson had Trey Lance playing quarterback for him. It's gonna take him a minute to get used to catching a football again. He's been used to watching Trey Lance run the ball, so it's gonna take him a minute. Like he's got to quit being a little temper tantrum baby every time something like that happens. He's got to take his own advice and RELAX, and then actually go back, not throw his fit and ignore a guy for the entire game.
He needs to go back to the ayahuasca plan during their bye week.
Yo, DMT it up, baby.
But so in my defense about Kirk Cousins, it's super easy to do your job when Justin Jefferson is literally open by 40 yards in all directions.
That's what
when Jair Alexander is literally just saying, I'm passing him off, and nobody's there to take him. It's just like, okay, well, hi, Justin, I can throw you this ball. Like,
the three of us can hit that throw. That was a 30-yard, like, hey, there's nobody within 10 yards of you. Fuck it.
I don't give Kirk Cousins any credit for Justin Jefferson being ungodly and unable to be guarded. Like, I cannot give Kirk Cousins any credit for that. Kirk Cousins did not do anything to throw Justin Jefferson open in that game.
Exactly what I said in my preseason prediction. You still told me, no. I still don't trust Kirk Cousins to even do that.
I'm not giving him credit. I am not giving Kirk Cousins any credit for any Justin Jefferson success. Justin Jefferson is leading his own success.
That's exactly what that was my entire reason
it's
for
like Randy Moss with Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson did not make Randy Moss good. Randy Moss made Brad Johnson look like not shit.
We're saying the exact same thing. This is exactly what the Vikings prediction was for our preseason. I was simply making the point, even Kirk Cousins can't screw that up, was the entire point.
Well, it's like with J-Jets, it's like the dude is an elite route runner. He's got 4.4 speed, and he's 6'2". It's like, shit, just throw the ball his direction. I'll come down with it. He even runs hard.
Mm-hmm. And he's really good with the ball in his hands, too. Like, he's actually really hard to tackle. When he actually has the ball in his hands, he looks like a gazelle going up and down the sideline until he starts.
He's like really wiggly, which is funny. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just a lanky dude, but he's just hard to bring down. I didn't realize how freaking big A.J. Brown was until I watched him shrug off a cornerback and still keep running on that 50-yard ball. I was like, I didn't realize he's like 6'3", 210 pounds. I'm like, this motherfucker's big.
210, 240 is more like it.
No, he's 220 because I think
Mac. Thick.
Problem is he always stands next to DK Metcalf, and that's gonna make anybody.
Yeah, it's so funny. Everyone's like, "Wait, who's the other guy? The DK Metcalf viral picture." It's like, oh wait, that's AJ Brown. Who, and it's so funny, right? So you look at the top 5 receivers from Week 1. It's Kupp at 5. I believe Stephon Diggs at 4, and it's like it's like Jamar Chase at 3, Brown at 2, Jefferson at 1. And it's like, it's hysterical. It's like, gee, it's like all you're missing is Tyreek Hill. There's like the 6 best receivers in football right there.
Really, yeah. I mean, it's like those top 6 guys just you see why they're top 6. They even showed it for the most part as well too. And Tyreek had to share it with Jalen Waddle. No one else really had to share that week.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I hope Dolphins fans aren't really getting their hopes up. We'll talk about this in a little bit, obviously, but I just, you know what? It's going to be, I think the Dolphins are in for a rude awakening, because I think I think Bateman is the perfect receiver for Lamar because he's such a big fucking target and he can run.
Thank you.
And I think Duvernay is an underrated too. I really think he is. I think that honestly Marquise Brown might be the most overrated receiver ever drafted in the first round. He's just fast and he's Antonio Brown's cousin. He's not a good receiver. He can't run routes. He just runs straight. There's a reason he was. Oh, Hollywood. Yeah, great. That's awesome. It's like it's so funny, right? So the Ravens back-to-back years took a player with our draft pick to help their offense. Lamar Jackson in 18 and Hollywood Brown in 19. They were the Dillard trade and the Dallas Goedert trade. That's what they were. So those are the guys we picked with them. Unfortunately, the Dillard one didn't work out for that much for us, but we got AJ Brown out of it eventually, so who cares? But my biggest thing about this was that Hollywood Brown out of college, I never liked his tape. Like, I'm like, ooh, that freshman number 2, that dude balls out, CeeDee Lamb. And I'm like, this is Hollywood Brown.
Yes,
he just runs
exactly
straight.
I remember DJ and I were watching him his senior year at Oklahoma, and we were like, man, he's not really doing a whole lot. And then we're watching CeeDee Lamb just absolutely torch defense after defense, week after week. And it's just like, huh, that guy's going to be good.
The other one was like, I got that vibe off of him, and it's so funny because now I play for the Vikings, is Jalen Reagor. I tried to convince myself he was good. And I'm like, oh, the dude can fly when he gets into open field. But the problem is he's not a good route runner, and he gives up on routes if he's not breaking away after the first 5 yards. That's why he's just going to be a kick returner for the rest of his career. He's Roscoe Parrish. That's basically what he is.
That's a name I've heard in a while, too. That's a good one. I think that's a throwback for those 2000s kids. But they know.
It's like,
hey, here's another one for you. Peerless Price, Tennessee.
Hey, hold on. Don't hate on Peerless Price now.
I know. I had a Peerless Price jersey growing up. I found it at a thrift store. I was hyped as fuck when I found it.
Him, was it Tim Dwight? And then, oh, God, who was the third receiver for Atlanta?
Brian Finneran.
Yes,
Brian Finneran, who's like 6'7".
Just him and Joe Jurevicius are just like the random power forwards playing.
Joe Jurevicius, yo, I have not heard that name in millennia.
I saw one of his jerseys the other day. I was like, these exist? They're still real.
I saw a jersey the other day. It was a Dante Culpepper Dolphins jersey. I started chuckling a little bit.
Oh
man, Miami fucked that up. Whoo! Yeah. All right. Y'all ready to talk about some quick headlines before we get into the six-pack?
Let's roll.
I'm always ready to talk about something.
All right. Couple news. I hope all y'all didn't go and get Jeff Wilson. The 49ers went and got Marlon Mack, practice squad, possibly upgrading to roster by week 4, hopefully, for Marlon Mack. I'm a big Marlon Mack stan. That man literally got me to the fantasy playoffs 2019, and then Dalvin Cook punched it in to get me the championship. Marlon Mack is the G, and this man has been screwed at basically every place he's gone. 1,000-yard rush for Indy. Oh, let's go get Jonathan Taylor. Listen, that upgrade was fine. Oh, goes to Houston. Oh, we cut him. Dameon Pierce is our back. Dameon Pierce gets hurt. Or no, it doesn't get hurt. It just puts up 4 points or whatever the fuck it was.
They go with Rex
basically, it was Rex. It's Rex fucking Burkhead. Okay, I swear to God, at this point, there's a couple guys who work at Belly probably run a faster 40 than Burkhead does at this point in his career. So here's the thing, right? Marlon Mack's gotten hosed everywhere he's gone, and he's like the reverse Josh Rosen, where he's actually done well and he's put up work and he doesn't talk shit. He's a 7th round draft pick, but yet he's getting fucked everywhere he goes. Now he goes to the one offense who resurrected Raheem Mostert's career. So it's like shit. Maybe he actually turns out. I'm actually kind of happy. I missed on Jeff Wilson, and for a temporary pickup, I went and got Najee Harris's backup.
Yes, who took over every single snap after Najee left that game.
Yeah, boy.
Every single
I don't want to hear this Benny Snell bullshit. Yeah, he's got a sick mouthpiece. That's about it, though.
Benny Snell has.
Listen, it's a throwback to the Trail Spree-Roll data spinner basketball shoe. Y'all remember those joints?
Yes, I
Oh
may or
God.
may not have used to have stock in Dada shoes.
Dada shoes were badass as fuck when I was a kid, man. I love that shit.
I never got the spinners, but I did. I mean, I rocked. You name the color scheme. I rocked them at some point in time.
Dude, my favorite, and even though I was never a Lakers fan, the Lakers colorway for that, I think Lamar Odom wore was fucking badass as hell.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, those are cool.
next up on the docket, Blankenship cleared waivers. He's a free agent. This is the most Jim Irsay thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Your kicker misses a game winner. Got his ass. We're done.
I mean, let's not forget he kicked it out of bounds twice in that game and has gone 60%.
Oh my god, he just had talk about having just a really bad day at work.
And he's also gone like 60% since the last week of 2020 as well. So he missed one in that playoff game against the Bills, and last year going into with that hip injury.
Yeah, that's right.
He's gone like
Shit.
8 of 13 or something since that playoff game too.
I keep forgetting how oh my god, I keep forgetting how he really isn't that reliable. Like you go to like guys like Carl's, even like my cousin's favorite kicker in football, Young Hoku. Listen, he may be on a shit team. That boy bangs him home. He don't care.
Here's the thing. Let's not forget. You mentioned Dan Carlson. I know you mentioned it for a reason too, and that's because Dan Carlson also started his career out in the same exact boat that Rodrigo Blankenship just left, had a really bad day at work for Minnesota in Dan Carlson's case, and now he's the highest paid kicker in the league.
Yes, sir. And then you have Zach
the most
McMoney.
consistent,
Listen, even McMoney missed a kick this week. It's like shit.
Okay.
Boswell, who's like one of the most accurate kickers of all time, missed a kick this week. It's like shit.
Dude, that was crazy. His
Bro,
miss for the win.
See, my parents love football. My dad's like a Vikings fan in spirit. He doesn't really give a shit too much. My mom just loves watching the game. It's like her favorite thing to do on Sundays. So like I had the Eagles game on before she got back from work, and I'm like sitting on the couch talking to my old man about some shit, drinking a beer, and I changed the Eagles game off because they won. After that Sanders run, they basically ran the clock out. And I changed it over to the Pittsburgh game. And she's like, oh, shit, Pittsburgh. Oh, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati. I remember this from last year. I'm like, yeah, Ma, they're playing right now. And she's like, and they're lining up for that field goal in overtime. And the guy shanks it. And I think Boswell shanked the first one. And she's like, what the hell? I'm like, Ma, it's been that all day. I might check Twitter. If you go on Twitter, it's missed field goals was trending for like, I think 6 hours on Sunday.
Except for Cade York.
Oh, yeah.
The one safe blanket.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else just convinced Lamar is not going to be a Raven next year, by the way?
100%. He's going to win the Super Bowl, then cruise off into somewhere else and get a $300 million contract.
He's not even going to win it. He's literally going to get smoked in the first round by somebody and go to Miami.
See, I don't even have him making it through this season as a Raven. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see a blockbuster trade.
You think they're going to go a trade and extension? Oof. You know, honestly, though, I wouldn't hate that because that'd be some fuck.
Oh, now you're with Lincoln.
Shut the fuck up, Kelsey. Listen, we'll play Lamar. I love a quarterback who doesn't throw the ball downfield well.
Doug, he doesn't. No. You can't say he doesn't throw the ball downfield well. He is a average NFL quarterback throwing the ball downfield. He's actually exceptionally average when it's throwing the ball outside of the numbers beyond 20 yards. He's above average.
He just can't throw the ball down the seam, which is perfectly fine because that's the only place in.
CeeDee Lamb doesn't run down the seam. Dalton Schultz doesn't run down the seam. None of them do.
I know because your offense makes as much sense as a fucking Chinese finger trap.
Which is why you put Lamar in the middle of it, and then guess what happens?
You act like they're going to cut Dak's contract. You know, he's going to be a Miami Dolphin by the end of the next, either this year or next year.
See, here's what's going to happen. It's going to go Dak and Zeke for Lamar. And Kelsey's going to be happy
DJ, do you want to go check his room quick for like some hard drugs for whatever the fuck that take was just now?
It's one too many high noons. It's now beyond noon. It's high evening now.
It's high evening. I love it. No, it's high. It's high drinking time. There's just no high evening anymore. It's called steer into the skid at this point. Oh my god!
At this point in time, I gotta wish for something, right? Like that's got to be like I can't just wish for
Also,
nothing.
Final headline from the NFL. Y'all see this shit about Russell Wilson, all of his old teammates with the tweets and shit? Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it, man.
Let's ride. Let's ride.
Let's ride. Piece of shit. I fucking hate Russell Wilson. Everyone's
I
like
love
Jared.
Noah Fant though.
Oh,
Like,
do I
him
love
just-
Noah?
His interview, and he's just like, let's ride. Or it's Shelby Harris too, and he also did the same thing.
Here's my favorite part about the whole Russell Wilson thing. It's like, oh, by the way, Jamal Adams out for the season. The world's fastest outside linebacker is done for the year.
The world's worst receiver of a ball ever.
The only man in the NFL with 2 nubs.
The only man in the NFL with more shots off the face than anybody else.
Just take off the visor. He's got double his interception careers with the ones that just hit him square.
Yeah, like at least one of them has to stick in the face mask eventually. Like Russell intentionally threw. I swear, Russell intentionally threw that at his face mask.
It's actually a very slow day for I got an update about Chris Paul, like what to a server? Oh
yeah, like the being suspended and paying like I think it was $10 million or something like that.
yeah, it's like what the fuck? Like the news is slow today. See, I know we'll end it on the Russell Wilson things. I love bashing Russ at any chance I get. 1,
Russ is not good.
ha, 2, go Hawks. 3, I haven't been able to root for the Seahawks since Hasselbeck and Tavares Jackson were quarterbacks there.
The glory days.
I liked Russell.
You can't say that. Tavares Jackson was a backup for Russ for 2 years.
I liked Russell Wilson until after he won the Super Bowl. Because, like, the second he won the Super Bowl, I was like, yo, go fuck yourself, buddy.
Game manager.
Game manager
See?
with the
Kelsey's been drinking the corner booth Kool-Aid, man.
Hold on, no. Kelsey has been far ahead of the corner booth Kool-Aid, and he has created his own Kool-Aid for long since before.
We're probably drinking
guys
the
came
same
along.
brew. It's probably the same recipe at this point.
same ingredients, just a different.
It comes down the same mountain. It just
Two
splits off a
different.
little bit
Listen,
somewhere.
2 different colors, same brew. It's just like shit. The dyes you put in are different.
Look, man, I've watched him since he was at NC State. First of all, that was a
Same.
shit show.
I'm an
And then
ACC fan.
Wisconsin was like why are we cheering on this guy as the best quarterback ever at Wisconsin? Because I mean he was the only quarterback at Wisconsin that could throw the ball over 20 yards in the last 20 years. So
No,
like
that is true.
like let's be honest, like
Listen, Wisconsin. Honestly, if Wisconsin had a legitimate quarterback, they probably would have knocked off Ohio State at least 3 or 4 times in the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is
Anytime.
that they produce a all-pro running back, at least one decent receiver, and a hell of an O-line. If they had at least one quarterback who wasn't basically inept at playing quarterback, they'd probably at least win the Big Ten at least once. But the problem is
And
they can't recruit a quarterback.
The one time they don't have a receiver and they don't have a running back and they don't have a good offensive line. Russell Wilson's the quarterback there, and they're just trash. So,
And they
anyways, yeah,
smoked by
he gets
Oregon.
drafted.
Yeah.
Gets drafted, plays fantastically well inside of his system, and then he's like, "Hey guys, you know what I can do? I can run around really, really fast and stand behind the line of scrimmage and then throw the ball really, really far. Let's do that every play." And then like everybody besides Lockett's kind of like, "No," and then Lockett's like, "I'll be down there. Don't worry, buddy. I got you." And the DK Metcalf came along and it's like, "Guys, I'm really doing it every play now." And then Marshawn retired, and he said, "I'm not having any of this shit anymore. I'm gonna go eat my Skittles." And that's the story of the Seahawks.
Listen, the second Marshawn left, Russ was fucked. We all know it. Also, Doug Baldwin. How many times did Doug Baldwin barrel his ass out on a shit catch?
That NFC Championship game against 49ers. And
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
single chance he
1,000
got.
times over. Yeah, you could literally count them out. We'd run our fingers and toes for how many times Russell would throw a shit ball, and you'd see Doug Baldwin literally leap out of his skin to go get it. I'm all about the Russell Wilson.
I'm putting every single goal line issue on Russell now as Jared cuts.
Oh, yeah, I am too.
Every single goal line is Russell now. Like it's officially
even when
the
Melvin
Russell
Gordon
curse.
fumbles, it's Russell Wilson's fault for being the base.
It's the Russell Wilson curse.
Also, shout out to my boy Chisel Adonis because I love watching his videos on Monday morning. And the fact is, I get to see every time Melvin Gordon gets or Josh Gordon gets a play, I hear the Flash Gordon theme song from Queen, and I just start fucking rolling. It doesn't matter how many times I fucking hear it, I still laugh. But my favorite part of the Russell Wilson slander is that the Broncos are going to go 7-10, or 8-9 this year, and it's going to be fucking hysterical.
I'm gonna go with the Kelsey. Let it out. Go ahead. You keep shaking your head. Let it out. Tell them the 4-13.
You are really hammering this one.
I don't think Russell's good.
I don't either.
And now, by the way, his best offensive line, his most explosive offensive lineman for blocking for the run, out. Quinn Miners out for the season.
I think the only saving grace
and Garrett Bowles.
I think the only thing that's going to get them to 6 or 7 wins is the fact that they have an elite running back core. That's about it.
But they're not going to do anything when Garrett Bowles holds every time they run the ball and gain positive yards.
Don't tell me this. I have Javonte Williams. I'm trying to trade him, but it's not going well.
I have Javonte too, and I'm willing to sacrifice my fantasy season to watch the Broncos go 4-13, and me sit here on a high horse and laugh at every single person.
I'm fucking Kevin from the league right now. I need a fucking championship.
No, I don't care that much for a championship. I will sacrifice all of that. I will sacrifice all of that to watch the Broncos burn. Mostly to watch Russell Wilson's career burn because I can't do the fake. It's the fake thing for me. Like right.
That's it's also no, that's me too. But also like the fact that I had to draft Javonte Williams actually kind of pisses me off because I fucking hated him in college, and now it's like I have to fucking root for this guy. I actually am actively trying to move him, and like I'm gonna ask for like some ridiculous. Like I'm either that or like get a 1A running back or a 1B running back and a 1C receiver and see if I can get like something for that. Like I don't know. The only way I'm not putting him on the block. I'm going to keep him for this week. The only way I'm not getting rid of him is if he goes off like 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Speaking of fantasy, do you see where I broke our fantasy league?
Yeah. And fucking, I didn't say anything because I wanted to say something, but I'm like, dude, you took literally the funnest part about fantasy football out of this so far. Whatever.
It's in our sleeper league that we just don't touch. Like you draft it and don't touch.
So basically, I turned off all notes.
Yeah,
I did everything but log off, basically in that league.
And I was messing around the other day, and it gave me the opportunity. It said, "Hey, you can improve your team by dropping this player," and so I got to drop Tim Patrick, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." But there's a giant open hole now on my team. Like, can I fill him with anything? I waited until the next day after waivers cleared on Wednesday and was able to pick up all these different players and drop everybody. And I was like, this didn't happen last year. I'm probably doing something wrong. Screw it, let's do it and see if I get punished later. Like,
and then in comes Mike and Dan like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? I hear somebody making strategy moves.
I mean, no, I did not just pick up Devin Duvernay instead of Tim Patrick. Like, no, that wasn't me.
My buddy just picked up Kenyon Drake and Jake Elliott for Rondale Moore and Zia White, which I don't hate those moves. I would grab Jalen Warren and then drop Kenneth Walker, but then dropped James Cook and picked up Kenneth Walker. So I think James Cook was the most overhyped draft pick of this draft out of the running back core because basically Zach Moss and Devin Singletary are going to take 80% of his carries.
I think if Zach Moss could stay healthy too, I think he can do a lot of things they want. It's just
I loved Zach Moss coming out of Utah. I thought he was like the most explosive running back in that class.
The most efficient running back in that draft. It's hard to be explosive when you're literally defined as a bowling ball.
But like Zach Moss is actually a 4.4 speed running back, which cracks me up that they use him as a bowling ball.
Zach Moss is like a 4.58.
Joe Williams, the guy he replaced. My bad, wrong guys. Joe Williams can fucking move.
Zach Moss is a thick boy. Like, let's not get crazy here. I'll double check his 40 to make sure.
Zach Moss fucked me in fantasy last year, so I refused to touch him. All right.
By the way, it was a 4.7 40. Just had to Google that too.
Oh wow, yeah. Official 4.65 for the NFL. Unofficial 4.79. So yeah, my bad. I gave him credit for speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week again. Everyone's favorite time. Let's crack a 6-pack. As I have to put this beer on the side because I'm still not finished with the one I had before. I hate when I have to do that. All right. Leading off with tonight's game. Kicks off in about 30 minutes. Chargers, Chiefs. Gents, this is the new format, so we got about like 10 minutes per game, 8 minutes per game. Let's talk about this one. How we feeling? Opening thoughts, DJ. What are you thinking about Chargers Chiefs? I'm already excited for the offense.
I will say I am excited because we get to see J.C. Jackson. He will be playing tonight, so I think that's going to make a big difference for them as well too. There will be no Keenan Allen, so it takes a little bit of fun from the explosive part away. But I'm really curious to see how they use J.C. Jackson. So Brandon Staley, sometimes too smart for his own good, especially defensively. That opens up a lot of what you can do with Derwin James, with Travis Kelce as well too. So I'm really curious how they utilize him. And honestly, I think offensively it's still going to be fun, but I think that gives the Chargers a little bit more of an edge because you can use J.C. Jackson to virtually eliminate one of those receivers. Like, he can eliminate a Juju or a Marquez Valdes-Scantling, or if one of them starts to get a little bit loose, you can stop the bleeding with J.C. Jackson real quick. Derwin James could put Travis Kelce in hell a little bit. You don't stop Travis Kelce, but you can at least make it annoying for him. And I'm curious to see if Patrick Mahomes builds off of what he did last week, where that was the best Patrick Mahomes I've ever seen play last week, because it wasn't screw a Tyreek out there somewhere. It was, all right, I read defenses now all of a sudden, and I'm going to rip you apart. If he can, and that's partially because Arizona sucks. But if he could do that again this week, we're going to have ourselves a real fun season. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, is Brandon Staley and Andy Reid's chess match.
My biggest thing about this game is that I really want to see what the real Kansas City is. I think Arizona's a poverty team again. I think they are trash. I think Kyler doesn't give a fuck. Call of Duty's beta release was this past week, and what does he do? He turns into shit performance. He's gonna turn in another one. Kyler don't give a shit. Kyler doesn't care. He wants his money now. He's paid. Didn't give a fuck. He'll go play video games for his life.
Anyways.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. I am hell convinced Cliff Kingsbury will be gone by the end of this year. I don't care if it's the first year of his contract. I think the Arizona Cardinals management started to get wise if they don't figure this shit out. Because last week was fucking embarrassing. I don't think I've ever seen a team get blown out then win the Super Bowl the following season. I mean, the same season.
Patriots and Chiefs, I guess. Never mind. That was like week 2, wasn't it?
No, that was week 7. That was 2017. They lost to Philly in the Super Bowl.
Okay, because I think they also lost to the Chiefs and got their ass whooped again. But I think that's the year before when they were 2-2, then rattled off.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Because Andy Reid in the regular season has always tried to just get after Belichick.
Revenge for 2004, I guess.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, a little rough times for your boy. But listen, Arizona looked like a poverty. They look like the fucking Cleveland Browns, and like the Cleveland Browns we grew up with. So they look fucking terrible. And I had my former boss, who has done guest picks on this show before, is at my house. He's best friends with my father. He is literally talking to me about this game. He goes, Jared, this isn't that bad of a game. I'm like, no, Dan, the score does not equal what actually happened. Arizona is a shit team, and Kansas City kicked the piss out of them. So how bad is Arizona or how good is Kansas City is the reason here. I am excited to see Justin Herbert, who I think is a less tooly version of Aaron Rodgers talent-wise, and just absolutely rip the ball over the yard. A buddy of mine who likes football, it's the only sport he watches, and he likes watching he likes watching the games when he's at people's houses and shit. He's not he doesn't follow the sport too much. I told him about Justin Herbert. I said, listen, this dude is 6'6", 230, and when he flicks the ball, it comes like a rocket. It looks like he's shooting a bullet out of his arm. So I said, listen, he may have the best, most complete arm in the league. I love Josh Allen, right? But Herbert's more accurate, and I think Herbert's the truth. I really do. And I'm really hoping for some Austin Eckler magic tonight and some Mike Williams action, because I have maybe some money on that. I don't know. But I'm all about the Chargers tonight. I don't touch that shit because I've gotten burned in that before. But anytime touchdown scores up, anytime. I got one time I got $30 because I took Adrian Peterson anytime touchdown score when he was playing for the Seahawks, and I got it. I was laughing my ass off. I got a $30 bet off that shit. I was laughing off a $5 bet, $30 payoff. I was laughing my ass off. But I really am excited. I want to see how the Chargers utilize having 2 lockdown defenders in that secondary fine, like DJ said. Kelsey, what do you think?
Before you go, Kelsey, I'm going to interrupt you real quick for one thing to add on to the Justin Herbert thing. I think if he learns to freelance just a little bit more, almost like a little Patrick Mahomes, he'll be the best quarterback in the league. He just has, once things are a little bit slightly off schedule, I think he'll be the best in the league. Once he's able to kind of get off of schedule, if that makes sense. On schedule, he's insane. But I
will say one thing. he has one thing over Josh Allen that Josh Allen will never have. Justin Herbert's not reckless with his body.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is why he could be the best. He could be the next Tom Brady. Because I'm not saying titles wise, but I'm saying like where he will last.
This man ran right into Aaron Donald. I don't know how much.
Okay,
much more
that's
reckless he
also
can be.
just okay. Let's be honest. This dude ran into Aaron Donald, but no, Josh.
Actually,
I'm saying,
again, both of them have ran right into Aaron Donald. So
I was gonna say
Aaron Donald hated
it's like
it.
Herbert is less reckless.
He doesn't get smacked as cleanly.
Josh Allen is the most reckless quarterback I've ever seen in my life with his body. It's terrifying. He's worse than Carson Wentz.
That's what happens when you're 6'6", 260.
Yeah, and not a softie like this guy from North Dakota State who we're not going to mention.
That's what happens when you play college football in Wyoming.
Yeah, you learn to do something. No, okay. So I look. Obviously, offenses is super exciting about this game, right? Like I'd be stupid not to say that first. I'm actually more excited to see the defensive progression for both of these teams. I mean, you guys mentioned for the Chargers how J.C. Jackson is actually going to be playing. You obviously have Khalil Mack, Bosa on one end. This entire team, Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin's looking leaner, sharper, lighter with his only 1-3 on his jersey instead of 2s. Nice haircut as well. That's fantastic. But on the flip side of things, that Chiefs defense is no slouch right now. George Karlaftis looked absolutely fantastic in Week 1.
Like defensive rookie of the year candidate, good.
Thank you. I'll take my crown now for that prediction. Secondly, L'Jarius Sneed, like the entire secondary for this team looks absolutely fantastic as well. They're looking great. How they hold up against a Keenan Allen-less Chargers will tell me a lot. If Keenan Allen was there, I think it sharply favors the Chargers, but without Keenan Allen, this becomes a very even game in the secondary. And then you take in all of that, and you actually add in Bolden, who is a second-year linebacker now. His progression so far as that middle linebacker role has been absolutely fantastic as well. So he's actually able to step in and fill in some gaps for the run game, so preventing a lot of guys from running downhill. We'll see how he does against somebody like Austin Eckler, who's a lot more shifty, and he's a muscle hamster. It'll be very interesting to see how he deals with that. But I think overall this game's gonna be really fun, not just from an offensive standpoint, like we've expected from the AFC West, but like really from a defensive standpoint. I think this is gonna be the most interesting matchup between the two because there is so many pieces on both sides that match up well.
Every time they play, I am ecstatic because, like, I love Raiders Chargers because Raiders Chargers just has a grit to it that just it feels right. The NFC West to me is the closest thing to NFC East I could quantitate with rivalry because every team in the AFC West hates each other. Every team in the NFC East hates each other. See, DJ, I know you and your little, like, nice confined Mormon town called the AFC South, where basically you have two like brand new franchises, and then you throw in Indy for good measure, and then you throw in like it's three brand new franchises in Indy basically. It's the relocation conference.
It's cool, it's basically in its entire history, it's basically just kind of been a stomping yard.
I will say
basically the Colts have been kicking everyone's ass except for those 2 years at Tennessee was good, but now everyone's figured out that Tannehill's trash. By the way, PFF can suck it. That rating is bullshit. I don't give a fuck what you say. He was terrible. Like I still reiterate Malik Willis by week 8. That is I'm putting that in stone, baby.
I'm willing to bet he at least sees some snaps in the next 2 weeks, whether it's just like a Malik Willis package or something like that. I think in the next 2 weeks we'll see him.
I think if Vrabel is that aggressive, I would not doubt it.
Especially if they continue to struggle to score points.
I just have to comment on Jared's complete overlooking of the other two NFC conferences that actually have real competition and real rivalries, and that's the North and the South.
Oh, the South can kiss my ass. The South can
Dog, talk about literally for poverty franchises, they hate each other with a passion.
All right,
and
facts.
I'm sorry,
I will say that.
If you've ever had to sit there and listen to Saints fans go who dat, blah 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 blah,
bro,
all the time, and then you have to hear
fans.
Falcons fans going rise up, and I'm like, rise up where? Where are you rising
so
up
what,
to?
blowing
Rise
the
up
lead?
to 12th in the division?
But the scoreboard
And then you have the keep pounding, freaking Panthers,
Listen,
which
you know what's so
was
funny,
a great statement back in the day. Now it's like, well, now it's lost a little bit of a shine now with all the
pounded.
yeah. Like let's now with the owner issue
There's so
founder.
many porn star jokes I can make here with that statement, but I'm gonna hold off because
I actually bought a wristband. I literally bought a
Actually,
Panthers wristband for that.
You know, let's
reason.
add one more to it. The Panthers should just get plowed for Stroud at this point.
get plowed for Stroud.
There we go. Now we got all those
No,
jokes.
they have Matt Carroll. They're fine.
I actually think Matt Corral
Matt
could
Corral.
be like the best quarterback out of this class. I still slam that beacon. I do think
that Beacon got lost off the side of South Carolina.
Well, here's the problem: is like the dude got hurt. Oh, great! It's also like that's actually kind of convenient because like now you get Baker taking all the fucking shots from their poverty ass franchise. Next year, who knows? They might actually go out and draft a like legitimate left
Offensive
tackle.
line?
Yeah, right. And it's like they
Not
still
name
have
it-
McCat-
not name Ike
they
Economy.
still have Christian McInjury report for the next 3 years. They have Robbie Anderson for 2. I think they have DJ Moore for 3 more. It's like it's not like they don't have good weapons around. It's like, oh fuck, let's give Corral all of these weapons. Fuck, like to let him chuck it. He's basically Baker Mayfield with more mobility, more arm, and less body weight.
And a lot more gangster, too.
Yeah, Matt Corral's a
Actually,
G.
quarterback.
Motherfucker knocked.
Honestly, I don't care what they do with their offense.
Sucker punch Wayne Gretzky's kid. He's already my favorite. Great
Wait, what?
one's overrated.
Hold on.
Fuck him.
Whoa! When did this happen? Hold on.
Team Lemieux all day, baby.
No. When did this happen? When did he punch?
In high school, they went to high school together.
Oh, okay, that doesn't count. I wanted to have
Yeah,
it
it
when they're
does.
adults and they
He
get
still
actually
cold
tried.
clocked him.
Nah,
That's
it
the
doesn't
great
count in high
one's
school.
kid, man.
Because in high school, you punch somebody out, and it's just like, oh, you knock somebody out.
In
But
a
like,
private school, it's a little different, Kels. Come on.
oh, get the hell out! No, it's not. Not when your dad is or freaking Wayne Gretzky, and probably Matt Corral's dad is.
No, Matt Corral's just from a normal family, bro. Literally, he cold clocked Wayne Gretzky's
Okay,
kid.
I don't think you understand. You do not go to Ole Miss as a starting quarterback who went to a private high school, and you just come from a normal family. That family's got some chandeliers in that house. They have some chandeliers in that foyer in the opening in their house.
Is that really how you look at Ole Miss like that? Really?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Ole Miss is that. That is exactly Ole Miss. Look, have you not ever seen Ole Miss's like the green in Ole Miss? Like everybody is dressed in tuxes with bow ties. Like if you don't come in there Southern Gentile, you are getting kicked right
The
out.
only SEC
But if you
school-
do, it's one of the best party schools ever if you come in dressed right.
There's only 3 SEC schools I would have gotten into out of college. Florida, but I don't hate myself, and also fuck Florida. 2, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan through and through, so fuck Florida. I hope the Gators eat the swamp. 2, Alabama, but basically they won their national title of the year, the first national title of the year I was graduating, so the tuition went up like $4,000. That ain't gonna happen.
For out-of-staters, yeah.
Yep, and
I feel
then
bad for you
LSU.
guys.
I was supposed to go to LSU, but I missed the application deadline because they have a top-ranked journalism department in the country.
It's not that good.
It was ranked. It was top-ranked when me and you were going to school.
Yeah, well, it was top 50, but Auburn's was still top 25.
Yeah, but Auburn's private.
No, it's not.
Auburn was charging me 28 out of state, where
Auburn's public.
Auburn, yeah, out of state charges private. In state,
Alabama charges private as well. But,
yeah, I know. So LSU charges in state for out of staters. LSU was like, yeah, $19K. I'm like, that's cheaper than my school here in Connecticut.
It cost me $8,000 to go to Auburn. It would have cost me $6,000 to go to Bama. One of those two schools actually offered me something, and the other one didn't.
LSU basically is one of my biggest regrets from high school is like not putting that happen because I probably would have gotten in.
Shreveport, honestly, like you can forgive yourself for that one.
Dude, but like that,
Baton Rouge is not.
I've been to Baton Rouge. I've been to
It smells
New
like corn
Orleans.
dogs.
Dude, I love that area. I love Louisiana.
It smells like corn dogs.
I know you do, bro. But like, here's the thing.
No. It's literally all like you walk into you get into Baton Rouge and it smells like corn dogs.
I'm supposed to be going to Tuscaloosa next year, which actually I'm excited about. Cruz and Kevin are dragging me down to a game in Tuscaloosa.
You better wear crimson because if you don't wear crimson, you're gonna get spit on.
I'll wear crimson. I got crimson shit. I don't give a fuck. I ain't wearing no
It doesn't have
Alabama.
to have the Alabama logo, but you.
Oh
will
no,
be spit
I ain't
on
wearing
if
no
you do not wear
Alabama logo,
crimson.
but I'll wear a crimson colored Nike shirt. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck.
Or gray, red, or black. You'll be fine.
Oh, I have more black shit than I know what to do with. Like fuck, I'll wear a Jalen Hurts Eagles jersey. Everyone's gonna fucking love me. So it's like,
Fine. Well, maybe not. Oklahoma.
are they really salty about that shit? They claim him. They claim
No,
him.
they don't claim him. They
Considering
don't.
he's
Kevin
South
says
Asian,
Kevin
more
and
than
Cruz say they claim him.
They claim him, but they don't. Like,
they don't claim him fully, but they don't hate him. Like he's not the enemy, quote.
All right, I'll wear my Devontae Smith T-shirt. I'll be good.
Oh, then you'll get high fives and fist bumps, and then
You'll be fine.
people try and kiss you, so you'll be fine.
That is literally currently like in the next room over. So yeah, I'll be good. I don't want to spend any money. I did say if Hurts gets a contract, I will buy a Hurts jersey by the end of the season. That is a bet I made to myself. He's my favorite player on the team. Like that's the thing. It's like everyone's like,
would it make you sad to know that I traded for Jalen Hurts as the Cardinals, and so now Jalen Hurts is no longer on the Eagles in my Madden franchise?
who is your quarterback now?
Jalen Hurts.
You said
On
you
the
traded
Cardinals.
Kyler Murray for
Oh, you gave Kyler Murray
and-
the fucking birds. Literally,
And
the scariest
they
thing
suck
ever.
now.
The scariest thing ever to me was when they were like, "Oh, Kyler Murray might go to the Eagles." When the whole like the fucking lawyer thing got released, I was like, "Yeah, no, pause, please, no, stop." All right, we are dragging this one. Let's make picks quick. All right, let's go around the horn here. I got the Chargers. Give me the money. Give me the Chargers. I took the Chargers money line in my 6-pack bets. Matt did as well. Who you guys taking?
Go.
I'm gonna go Chargers. I'm gonna go 38-35 Chargers. So
I think the Chiefs take this one. Give me something like 28-24. I think the Chiefs take the first matchup.
yeah, I can't remember what the spread was. So I don't remember if my 3-point covers.
I think it was +3 for the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit! This game wasn't even in our 6-pack. Wow. Okay, even better.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on. College ball. Penn State, Auburn. We're giving a little Kelsey a little nod here.
I love how it's like third on your list, and you're like skipping all the other ones to talk about.
Well,
this
no,
one
I'm
first.
following Matt. I'm following Matt's parlay because it was the first one I ran across on our text chain.
Fair enough.
All right, so Penn State, Auburn. I actually ended up taking Auburn because I'm not a fucking idiot. I don't trust Big Ten teams going down south. I don't.
TJ, I'm gonna let you go first.
You know, for the contrarian purposes, I don't trust Auburn, and I think Sean Clifford has experience, and I'm worried about Auburn possibly imploding on themselves. So I'm going to take Penn State by a really close margin.
All right, so Auburn is breaking out orange face mask and potentially an orange jersey for this one, and having an orange out. First time in Auburn since 1970 something, 80 something that they've worn orange jerseys with orange face mask. So if that actually comes out and happens, give me Auburn to win at home in an orange out. If it doesn't, still give me Auburn to win money line plus 125. Still gonna say Auburn wins, just because at home in Jordan Hare is not an easy place to play.
Fair enough. I am going with Auburn as well. That's what I took on my money line and my parlay bet for the ages. Next up, you got NC State and Texas Tech. A elite scoring offense versus an elite scoring defense. This game honestly kind of intrigues me. Like I'm really interested to see ACC versus Big Ten. Who's gonna light it up?
You want to go first, Kelsey?
This is going to be a shit show from what I've seen so far this season, is what I'm expecting. Because NC State has not looked like NC State of last year. Looked very bad. Honestly, should have lost their first week's game as well. But had it not been for ECU's kicker, not sucking, they would have lost. I'm going to say, if I have to pick in this one, give me Texas Tech. I know they're underdogs. I'm going to say give me Texas Tech in this one. I think Texas Tech is a little stronger than NC State in this one.
I took Texas. I took NC State for the pure reason one. I believe in that defense. I think. Listen, ECU was supposed to like.
ECU.
I know, but listen, they're at home. Texas Tech's got to travel. NC State ain't a fun place to play. And it's, you know what? I think after 2 weeks ago, what happened with ECU, I think they've recovered enough. I think they're going to punch Texas Tech in the mouth. The passing league's going to the Big 12 passing league's going to take an L. So give me NC State.
Give me NC State as well. You got, I think it's 10 of 11 starters back on defense from last year. Offensively, they are limited, but Texas Tech defensively is much more limited. So I think they'll do enough offensively as well too.
Listen,
Can we agree that Texas Tech covers the 9.5 point spread though?
Oh, they guarantee they'll cover it. It's gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
NC State doesn't put away teams; they barely scrape by. Just ask their daddy, Tyler Van Dyke.
Just have to make sure.
Listen, I love shit on NC State fans are fun to shit on because I'm like, because our quarterback is their daddy, so that's why I laugh at them all the time. He called a shot and that beat them, like knocked them out of playoff contention, literally one game. It was great. All right, next up, this game is going to give me heart palpitations. Miami, Texas A&M.
You'll be fine.
Listen, until the final whistle blows, I will not act cocky because I've been burnt before.
The fact that Texas A&M are favorites still in this game is so bothersome.
It's also a great upset pick, so great.
It's such a stupid. It shouldn't be an upset pick. You're looking at Miami, who is ranked top 15. You're looking at A&M, who is 24th, who should be unranked after losing to App State. You're giving them 5.5 points in the spread, and you're giving them a minus 204 favorite. Like, it started at -9 at 9-point spread for the Aggies. Like, this is embarrassing. What is wrong with what is wrong? Oh, I'm off Caesar Sportsbook.
I'm off of DraftKings.
Okay, so that's why. But yeah, so what is wrong with our betting community that you can't understand? Jimbo Fisher is not a quarterback whisperer. He is a terrible coach and will continue to be terrible unless he's trying to upset somebody who's a top 5 team at home, named Alabama. He is going to continue to be terrible time and time and time again. And he's going to just watch. Miami is going to come in here. It's not even going to be close. They easily beat A&M. This is going to be a 10-point plus win.
That's what happens. I'd love to stomp Jimbo's head over.
We're going to go 3 for 3. I'm going to take Miami as well, too. I think A&M was very overrated because of a draft class that's not even going to contribute for another year or two. I think they were just overrated coming into the year, and they got all their hype from that one win last year, and it still somehow carried them to, ranked number 6 this year. So give me Miami comfortably.
Y'all know who I'm fucking picking. That's my squad, man. Like, there's only one team I root for as much as the Philadelphia Eagles. Kelsey, I will slap that fucking smile off your face if you do that again. That's fine. I don't give a fuck about horns down. Dude, if you do the horns down, if you do the U down, listen, does that Southern Miss how that shit went?
What if we do both? Like,
what is that, yin yang shit? Listen, you up, baby. All right, here's the thing, right?
Look, this ain't the you I need to be afraid of, so I can do whatever I want. I'm not.
Here's the thing about I had multiple friends of mine who were SEC fans text me, yo, I'm all about Miami, green and orange this week, baby. We'll get this dub. I'm like, I didn't realize how hated Texas A&M is in the SEC. Now I know. Holy shit, nobody likes
It's
him.
Jimbo Fisher. It's Jimbo Fisher.
I want Jimbo Fisher's fucking blood on a spear. You like that reference?
Everybody hates him.
Listen, that man gave us 6 straight years of suffering at Miami. I want a fucking W. I want a stab through the heart in the middle of fucking College Station. I want Mario Cristobal throwing haymakers. I want Zion Nelson pancaking. And I want Tyler Van Dyke calling his shot pre-throw. Like, I want death. Fuck Texas A&M. I don't like their program, period. So, give me Miami.
I won't go so hold on. Don't hate their program. Like, their program's pretty historic.
No, fuck it. Fuck the program.
But they do some weird shit.
Yeah, they fucking cult. Fucking, like, they might as well be in, like, a freaking documentary for how fucked up that shit is. All right, football time.
It is a military school, so.
It is. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Lions Commanders. We're going real ball games today. The first time in
you got it.
3 years plus they've been favored at home.
Shit.
I am ecstatic for the Lions right now. Give me Detroit money line by 1,000. I think, listen, Jalen Hurts beats the Lions. Carson Wentz does not. Carson Wentz, I think, is 0-2 against the Detroit Lions. Jalen Hurts is 2-0, just for future reference. 3-0 now, future reference. I want to tell you this right now. I think that Dan Campbell is going to get his team a dub. I think Carson got away with a lot of 50-50 throws. That last touchdown to Dotson, that ball's an inch to the right. That's a pick. Like, don't even tell me it's not, or at least a knockdown. I think Detroit is going to run the ball down Washington's throat, and they do not have the secondary that Philadelphia had. Jared Goff is going to light up that secondary. I'm sorry. Give me Detroit.
Go ahead, Kelsey. You can go ahead.
I don't know if I want to go because I've been hammering the Lions for so long. I didn't know what I would ever do if they became a favorite.
You got to believe.
Unfortunately, the last time they were the favorite was against a P.J. Walker-led Carolina Panthers before he was the P.J. Walker we now know. Before XFL P.J. Walker. They lost 20-0. I'm scared for the Lions this week. I can't lie. Did I pick them to win? Am I pick them? Yeah. Do I still feel comfortable about it? No. But I can't pick the Commanders just because it's against my religion. So I'm gonna go still with the Lions. But this is like, I don't like it. I feel gross picking the Lions in this one, where I have picked the Lions in such worse blowouts in my life in the last 2.5 years. This one is just like, this one doesn't feel right. I'm worried that this is a trap game for the Lions.
My favorite bet last year was the Lions covering against the Pittsburgh Steelers in that tie. I was the happiest fucking kid alive. I was like, that counts as covering, motherfucker. We did it.
And I'm going to be the Debbie Downer. I think the Commanders are going to take it just because this is the one situation where I think Carson will be fine is because he has guys he can throw up those dumb 50-50 balls. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel are going to come down with them more times in recent memory, like especially the Colts. Those receivers, they make Carson look a lot better. He will throw the ball to their team, and it's up to Detroit to catch it. But after seeing what A.J. Brown did to them as well, too, Jeff Okudah, obviously, and Devontae Smith obviously didn't show up much, but that's a lot of receiving core. Carson will throw you 2 picks, but I think he can still get you the 3 touchdowns. And I'm worried about Detroit being favored, too. I don't trust them in a favorite
Washington has a lot worse offensive line than Philadelphia.
If this was flipped,
it's terrible. It's way worse than
but they have a lot better
offensive line because he runs into defenders anyway. He just needs someone to catch his dumbass passes.
Here's the thing is, like, Tracy, I would take Washington, but Tracy Walker did not get suspended. Their passing defense with the shit the second Walker was ejected. It was bad already, but it went even worse. Walker's an emotional leader on that team, and when they lost him, they couldn't stop the run or the pass. Didn't matter. I think the biggest key for Detroit is they are hungry. They knew they had Philadelphia. The problem was they just couldn't stop Miles Sanders because Miles Sanders has been itching for a 100-yard touchdown game since 2020, and I honestly believe the Lions are going to be a playoff team. And the biggest thing with Washington, the problem, I think they got off lucky because, bro, Jacksonville is still trying to find themselves as a franchise. Dougie, you knew it was going to be an experiment. So,
yeah, but how many times has Washington come in here underdogs in the last 5 years and proven that they're better than proven that they can play up with this defensive line? This defensive line makes up for a lot of their holes, and it can shut down run games very easily, and it really shuts down passing games by itself. That's what's terrifying. And I just don't like the Lions being a favorite without winning a game yet. Like,
I will say though, that Detroit offensive line versus that Washington defensive line is gonna be a whole lot of fun.
That's gonna be. I am legit gonna illegal stream that game when I get back from my buddy's birthday lunch. Because I legit want to watch that whole game for the line play.
I do think if Chase Young was healthy, I think the Commanders would be the favorite. Then I feel a lot more comfortable picking the Lions, but I can't pick the Lions as a favorite. That goes against my belief.
Fair.
It's just like as a favorite, I just can't. It's so hard. Like I I'm picking the Lions, but it's just because I can't pick the Commanders.
That's
fair enough. And for future reference, Matt took the. By the way, Matt took NC State and Miami, and he also took Detroit Lions as well. On the same page there. He keeps copying my picks, motherfucker. All right, next up, we split this game. This is an upset pick. He took the Saints over the Bucks. Gentlemen, Buccaneers, Saints, how we feeling?
Give me the Saints.
Yo, go ahead. Yeah.
No, they give me the Saints. I think they'll still put the Bucks in hell. They always put the Bucks in hell. Then on top of it, you mentioned Tom Brady didn't really do anything all summer, so they're still a little rusty. I think they're gonna be a little bit rusty in this game too, and I think offensively they actually have a little bit of firepower, unlike last year when it was basically Trevor Siemian handing it off 3 times and punting. So give me the Saints in this one, continuing what I believe will be a playoff surge by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Give me Tom Brady sticking it to the Saints. I think everyone was like, oh, he looks rusty. It's like, talk more about the GOAT, man. See what happens. I think he's going to get out. They're going to surprise the Saints. I think the Saints are going to get a little confused. I think there's the pass rush. That secondary is going to get a couple lucky throws from Jameis that maybe get tipped the wrong direction. Give me the Buccaneers. It's going to be close. The Saints are going to cover. At least they're going to be within the 3-4 points, whatever the spread was. But give me the damn Bucks. I think the Bucks get this dub.
Yeah, they don't. The Saints win this one. And they continue to dominate Tom Brady as a Buccaneer. So
it's so funny because since 2020, the last embarrassing loss the Eagles have had was the Saints in 2018, and they haven't beaten us since we got rid of Carson Wentz. You
don't go to New Orleans after a high of beating Dallas and then expect to get the same performance in New Orleans.
That ain't much of a high, man. That was ugly as fuck. The fuck you mean high? That was like shotgunning a fucking Steel Reserve.
Fans, they're
shotgunning a Steel Reserve in a back alley. The hell you mean a high? That felt like I was like, oh, I'm trash.
That's what they do normally, so that's their normal celebration.
All right, last game of the docket before I give my gimme pick. Dolphins, Ravens. Myself, I took the Ravens because I'm not an idiot. I'll say it off the bat.
Well.
And also, Matt took the Ravens as well.
Call me an idiot because I'm taking the Dolphins.
I won't call you an idiot because I like the Dolphins, but I'm taking the Ravens, and J.K. Dobbins looked like he might actually play too, so I think he begins his bounce-back campaign as well.
Rodney Staley might play as well. Is that what the other thing I heard too?
Who was that?
Isn't Staley going to play as well?
I think so. I think if not this week, next week, I believe is what it was. But I think they're going to
stick with my pick.
I don't think Jalen Waddle's going to break 6 tackles on a 4th and 7 at the end of the half this week.
Stick with my pick. I have to stick with my pick. I can't go against it, man. Every time I switch picks, I lose. Every time I switch, I just have to stick with it.
I think the Dolphins are fake as fuck. I'm keeping with the Ravens. All right, and my gimme pick this week was the Bills over the Tennessee Titans. Matt refused to pick. Matt refused to take a gimme pick because he was so mad about how he lost 2 points because his 49ers lost to the Bears. He's a Jets fan,
but
can
I take a gimme pick for him?
You can take a gimme pick for him.
So if he wins, if it's right, he gets the 2 points.
He gets the 1 point. You lose 2, you gain 1.
Okay, in that case, give him the Bengals over the Cowboys.
All right. I will assign him that as his pick. I appreciate your honesty. All righty. Ladies and gents, you see that beautiful thing behind me next to the Rodney McLeod Super Bowl jersey and the Whiskey Myers Frogman poster? That's the Corner Booth Dartboard presented by our friends over at YeatsOfficial.com. Promo code Corner Booth for 10% off. Amazing sunglasses. Very stylish, a little flamboyant, which is good, honestly. These are Jared proof, if you haven't figured that out by now. I beat the shit out of my sunglasses. I just had to buy a 8th pair on vacation because I needed a pair to rock with a suit because my Ray-Bans I had since I was in high school got destroyed because I wore them to a house party and got them trashed. That's the one thing I own of clothing I don't take care of is my sunglasses. And Yeats Official sunglasses are so durable. I've worn them at boat parties, to the beach, to house part like darties. I've worn them to football games, tailgates, whatever you name it. Listen, polarized, $40. Some of them actually go cheaper, $35, $20. And you know what? It's just a good company. They're good people. It's official. Promo code Corn Booth for 10% off. You can't beat it. These are the Aquas, obviously, they're discontinued, but I love them anyway. But yeah, they have a lot of great styles, especially if you want like the Pit Viper style. They have a lot to counteract with that and a lot to work with it. They're official sponsor of the Corner Booth and official sponsor of the Corner Booth dartboard. So I will start off because I completely surprised our guest with the corner with dartboard today because honestly, I haven't done it in 3 weeks. I was going to put on ESPN, and I still am going to put on ESPN. ESPN. I understand Texas A&M lost to App State, but App State Troy as your college game day stop? Are you fucking stupid? Boone, North Carolina is absolutely fucking gorgeous. I love that state. I love that area. I've been there multiple times. I have friends who go to App State or went to App State. It's a gorgeous place. Here's the problem I have with that. You have Miami and fucking Texas A&M. 2 preliminary prowlers playing each other for the first time in years. On top of all of that, I have to sit and watch that shit. I will give you one thing. I have to go get I have an appointment at 10 a.m. on Saturday. No, I don't have to miss anything. I don't have to miss shit because y'all are going to be sitting there telling me, oh, App State Troy is the game. No. Everyone knows it's Miami, Texas A&M. It's been circled since preseason, since they scheduled the home and home. Listen, I don't care what the lines are. It's Jimbo Fisher versus Miami. It's a perennial power in Texas A&M versus a perennial power in Miami, who was weak of late but is now making a resurgence. ESPN missed the bubble, and it just shows the show. They are a week behind because the App State, nobody's going to give a fuck about App State this week. It's probably going to be the lowest viewed college game day, even though I will say they were very good about the Pat McAfee edition. It was a very solid edition. I think he gives a lot of entertainment value because, honestly, now that Lee Corso's starting to slow down, God, I hope we keep him for a few more years. Listen, Dez is just a hype beast. David Pollock is literally just gets shit on by opposing teams. And Kirk Herbstreit is the best when he's on Thursday Night Football. But that's all I got to say about that. DJ, Kelsey, who wants to go first? Put somebody on the dartboard.
Kelsey, take it away.
Oh, I just want to clarify. It's CBS's fault, not ESPN's fault, that the game day is in App State because they got CBS has first negotiation rights for SEC schools, so that's the reason.
Fucking CBS, they suck at everything.
Fuck them both.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's why that's the case. I could throw CBS on there for that reason, but I'm not going to. I'm going to throw Brett Favre on here because if anybody's been paying attention to the news, Brett Favre, Mississippi welfare scandal. Are you kidding me? You make more money in Wrangler commercials. You could have just paid for it with one of those. This is just the most idiotic thing I've ever seen. And on top of that, honestly, you could have taken one of your commercial or money paychecks from one of those random kids TV shows you showed up in, and you could have bought a brand new volleyball facility for USM. You didn't need to do all that. This is extreme. It's I mean, who knows what's going to happen with them legally. Very interesting to watch going forward. But yeah, just Brett Favre continues to be the worst texting human being in the world.
He should honestly get his phone revoked at this as well too. So I'm going to keep tough to follow that one up. I'm going to keep mine short, sweet, and simple. We're going to throw Nathaniel Hackett on there, the head coach of the Broncos. You pay your quarterback $250 million. On 4th down and 1 from the goal, 4th down and goal twice, you hand it off out of the shotgun while your guards get bull rushed instead of either kicking the field goal and taking your cursed quarterback at the 1-yard line out, or letting him do it himself, considering you're paying him a fortune. Has the most expensive house in Colorado history. Let him do. And then at the end of the game, of course, that 4th and 5, you let 30 seconds tick away, call a timeout, kick the second longest field goal in history. You had 3 timeouts. You have a quarterback, the most expensive Walmart employee in history with Russell Wilson right now. Let him at least try. It's his moment back in Seattle. Let him succeed or fail at that point. It's 5 yards. If you don't trust him to Houdini his way for 5 yards, why'd you pay him that much? Why'd you give him all of the clearance aisle money of the last 2 decades? So Nathaniel Hackett catch this dart. In roughly 4 quarters of his head coaching career, he's already on a sizzling seat.
That's awesome. Gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for giving me an amazing corner with pregame for week 2. Where can we find you guys at on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc.?
All of it. All of it. You can find us on all of them. And just look up High Low Sports on Twitter at @high_low_sports or at High Low Sports on everything else. Super easy to follow. Once you follow one of us, just click on the link tree and you click all the other links. Go live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on bellyup.tv and our YouTube and Twitter pages. So, yeah. And always every Thursday, every time Jared invites us.
Yeah, exactly, because I can't keep these guys away from me. I love having them on the show too much. All right. Also, by the way, shout out to our other sponsor, the sponsor of Belly Up Sports itself, CannabisTips.com, promo code Cornerbooth for 20%. I mean, Belly Up 20 for 20% off. I live off this shit. I have 6 tins in my room. I went through my entire tin today, and I have a chance to run up. My favorite right now is the Palmy, or what he's holding up right now, the Mango is one of my favorites as well. Big citrus guy. By the way, if you're a Starburst fan, tastes just like Starburst. Not even fucking kidding. And also the mint and wintergreen both taste like Cope, which for my Copenhagen fans out there like myself is a very nice way to get off the dip. Promo code BELLY20 for 20% off. Me and Matt literally run through about a sleeve per month. So, and Kelsey being a Southern boy himself, I guarantee he runs through it as well. So, that being said, we appreciate you stopping by the Corner Booth pregame. We appreciate you coming through. I'll be back Monday for our show. And, just check our social media for the weekend to see how me and Matt's parlays are doing. We're going to post them via our Twitter so you can see what idiot bets we made for for this week. And, check us out, Corner Booth, on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everything. So, appreciate y'all coming through. Enjoy. I got to go pretend to eat dinner for 30 seconds before I go join this meeting. So, appreciate y'all. Shout out to High Low Sports. Catch y'all later.